Okay, I'm just going to read a statement and we'll follow it up with a few questions, just a few basic questions. My name is Judy Rimato and I'm the Associate Superintendent for Communications and Planning. Joining me is the Klein ISD Superintendent, Dr. Jim Kane, and Klein Collins Principal, Mr. Randy Kirk. Let me start by saying that the Klein ISD and Klein Collins administration are deeply saddened and troubled by today's incident. At approximately 12:40, a 9th grade female student climbed over the second-story railing and fell to the floor below. Campus administration and nursing staff were immediately on the scene. The student was initially stabilized by EMT personnel and then taken by life flight to the trauma center in the Houston Medical Center. A parent and other family members arrived prior to life flight leaving the campus and left to meet them at the hospital. At this time, we do not know the circumstances behind her climbing over the railing. We are awaiting word as to her condition, and more information will be released as available. Crisis counselors were at the campus after school to work with students and staff that were affected by today's tragedy and will be available next week as needed. That's all the information we have at this time. We would like to close by saying that we join the community by keeping this young lady and her family in our prayers. Thank you. Does anyone want a written statement, a written copy of the statement? We have those available.
Judy, can you tell us, did this young girl say anything to anyone before this occurred?
We do not have any information about that at this time.
Did any teachers see her go over the railing? What did they do? Can you describe kind of what happened?
It occurred during class, and so there weren't any teachers in the hall that saw the event.
Did students witness her?
We have talked to some students that saw her either right before or right after the incident occurred.
Do you know if there are any surveillance cameras inside the school that might enlighten you on what happened prior to this?
There are surveillance cameras. I've watched the video. She walked directly from her classroom to the railing and then climbed over the railing and fell.
Did she fall or did she jump?
She climbed over the railing and then fell. So she purposely climbed over the railing.
Did any students were with her or anybody?
No, she was alone.
What period she was that came out from the classroom?
I'm sorry?
What was the class or period that it was in the classroom?
This happened during 6th period.
And whether the professor said anything to her or did he saw her coming out?
We don't have any information on that at this time.
Judy, we see the railing in there. Is that like what we're talking about?
Yes.
That area below where she fell in the commons, as you call it, can you describe that for us, for those who haven't been there?
It's a terrazzo type flooring.
Is that an area where students generally eat lunch, or is it just for the cast in the hallway?
No, it actually occurred in front of the main office.
So did anyone in the main office actually witness this?
I do not have that information. Sorry.
Did she fall head first off this railing?
I really don't know exactly how she fell. I just know that she climbed over the railing and fell.
How did you guys find out? Who saw the incident first that reported?
Mr. Kirk?
It was reported by a student initially.
Did she said before stepping out of class that she was going to the bathroom? Because you cannot just...
We don't have that information. It's too early in the investigation.
From what your statement says, there was someone on staff here who immediately responded and helped do first aid. Principal, I didn't catch, were you among those?
Yes. A student notified me that this female student needed assistance. Immediately went to that area and notified the nurse, and she came to give assistance as well.
And so you saw this firsthand. Can you describe the injuries as you saw them?
In
No, sir.
respect for the family,
can't.
we will not be describing anything about the actual injuries at this time.
Can we say she's in a stable condition at least?
We don't have any information as to her condition. Apologize.
What do you do at the school?
This is Randy Kirk, K-I-R-K. He's the Klein Collins principal.
So you were one of the first people to show up when this happened.
Correct.
What is that like as a principal of the school to see something like that? I mean, it's got to be.
It's a difficult time. You know, at that point, you want to do what you can for the student and their well-being.
Did you know her personally? I mean, have you had has she?
No,
Anything?
How old is she?
she's a freshman,
How old?
approximately 15.
Okay, I will leave the statement here. You all have my contact information, so feel free to, if I get updated information, I will release it to you. I'll send an email out. So if you don't hear from me, it's because we don't know anything. There's not anything new to report. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. And please keep this young lady and her family in your prayers as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Judy.
I'm sorry, that's,
I just want to-
that's not understand.
One thing I neglected to say, and this is not about the case, but we appreciate you coming on campus for the press release, but now we'd like to ask you to go back to off campus, so you can go to the median. The Klein police will be there to help you, so we really appreciate that. Thank you so much for
Excuse me,
protecting
the
our
railing
privacy.
on the inside looks exactly like that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.